guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode from the Pixelmon Let's Go server. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having a fantastic day. I've been doing a little bit of redstone. I haven't tested it yet to make sure it works, but if my understanding of redstone is correct, it should work. So basically what I want to do, and I think we tried something like this a couple episodes ago. We want to cause a redstone lamp to light up when there's an egg in these ranchers. And I fooled around with it a few episodes ago and it didn't work. And someone had suggested, hey, you should use a sticky piston. The problem is sticky pistons require slime balls, and slime balls are not super easy to get because you can't make a slime farm. So it took me a while to get all the slime balls that I actually needed to make 40 sticky pistons. But I have them now. I've made them all. I've done a couple of these already just to make sure I got it down. And we're going to do one or two of these together. So, yeah, this is going to be a little bit of an improvement for us. It should help us out. That's the center right there. Okay, so we need to carve out a little spot like that. We got to carve a little workspace for us, although we will be putting most of this back. We got to get rid of you, and then we go down one block and over two. And like so. There we go. Then we just grab our, put a redstone torch here, dust, put a, actually I need to put the sticky piston in, don't I? Ta-da, there we go. And put a stone brick there. So when this thing is emitting a signal, it will extend the sticky piston down, which pushes this block down to complete this circuit so that this redstone charge from that torch carries through. Then it needs to go into a block, which goes into a torch, so it can come up and into this block. And ultimately, when this stone brick block gets pushed down by the piston, this torch is going to go off, which means this torch will go on and light the lamp. So it's kind of a roundabout way of doing it, but it should work, I think. I think it will. And then I can just go ahead and move that. But this is where the ranch block will actually go, obviously. So I've got some stuff breeding over here. These are Sten. I've been renting some Destiny Knots from Sten, and I agreed to pay for those Destiny Knots by essentially breeding some perfect Pokemon for him and giving him his choice of a couple different perfect Pokemon. And he decided he wanted a perfect Skitty and a perfect Wingull over there. So that's why I'm breeding these guys right now. But this ranch block is obviously done. So if I have done this correctly, like if my redstone is actually right, then we should be able to see this lamp light up. So we're going to find out if I am actually like competent at redstone. All right, so that gets pushed down. That's what we want. And we go here. And we actually need to go one more. Put a torch there, a thing here, stone brick there, like so. And then we go dust. We put in a block, a torch here, and like so. Yeah, and you can see this torch is off because this circuit is complete. And then when we fill all of this stuff in, actually, I shouldn't have removed that one because I need to get up there. When we take this out, the light goes off. So it totally works. This is fantastic. I can do redstone, guys. I'm a redstone master. Oh, man. Anyway, I have, I've done 6. So I have 34 more of these to do. I'll catch up with you in a little bit. All right, guys, I am back. All of the lamps, all of these little things are done on all 4 wings of our little base here. And you can see they are working. I did have to make one change because I'm not quite as good as Redstone. I'm not quite as good at Redstone as I thought I was. This, in all of them, was a piece of redstone dust, and I realized it had to be a repeater to continue the circuit instead of just a piece of dust. So I swapped all of those pieces of dust out for one repeater right here, right where the piston pushes the stone brick down, and then to carry the signal into this block that has the torch, this has to be a repeater. So I made that one minor change, and it works. It works on all of them. And you can actually see we've got a whole bunch of lights lit up right now because there are eggs in here. So it's going... I fell in a hole again. It would be lovely if I could stop falling in holes. Anyway, I'm still breeding up these pokes for Sten. And this might be the last batch, maybe? We'll see. Well, no, I still need some Winkles too. Anyway, I'm going to get back to this. And I have some other things that I want to start as well. I think I finally have a couple of ideas for some stuff that we will jump into in just a minute. But first, I need to hatch these eggs. Welcome, my friends, to Pokemon Showdown. I know this is a little bit out of the ordinary, but I wanted to show you guys some of the tools and sort of my process for building competitive teams. This is probably going to be the only video in which I actually show this as part of an episode, but I've gotten a lot of questions about kind of that whole process and some of the resources and tools that are available to you, so I figured I would actually show you guys some. So as you know, I've been working on a Dragon Gym team, and I figured we could maybe kind of put it together. Together. Sure, yeah, we're gonna create it together. Let's just go with that. So I basically got 4 things here. I have Pokemon Showdown. This is a free website. It is an online battle simulator with all the Pokemon and all of their moves and all the things. It's play.pokemonshowdown.com, and it's free and all that kind of good stuff. Next is Smogon, and this is a community-run competitive Pokemon website with forums and community and strategy and articles and all sorts of crazy stuff. But what I'm mostly interested in here is the strategy Pokedex right here on this first page at smogon.com. You go to strategy Pokedex and then you go to Sun and Moon, and you can search for like any Pokemon that exists, and it will give you recommended sets, recommended nature, recommended items, the whole 9 yards. Next, I'm also looking at PokemonDB.net, Pokemon database. And right here, this is another good resource for looking up stuff kind of at a glance. You can look at like Garchomp, Mega Garchomp, compare stats and abilities, look at evolution conditions, type weaknesses, all this other kind of stuff. There's several different websites that provide this information. But I find PokemonDB.net to be probably the one that's just the most user-friendly. Like, it just kind of has the cleanest interface and it presents everything in the nicest way. And then last is Google. Because anytime you're going to put a Pokemon on a team, you need to Google it in relation to Pixelmon. So, if we look at Garchomp, for example, we're going to Google Garchomp Pixelmon, and we're going to look at its Pixelmon wiki page, because sometimes the stuff that the Pokemon can learn in Pixelmon, or the way that it learns it in Pixelmon, is not always exactly the same as it is in the actual Pokemon games, because Pokemon Showdown, Smogon, and Pokemon DB are not for Pixelmon, they're for Pokemon. Luckily, most of the stuff is going to be the same, but sometimes there's a little bit of a difference, and you do want to double check it on Pixelmon just to make sure that you're doing something that you can actually do. So let's go ahead and start building this dragon team. And I already know a few things that I want. We'll say format, I'm just going to select Ubers, which means I will have access to all Pokemon for the most part. But I'm not actually going to play with this team on Pokemon Showdown right now. So we'll say that, and then we can start adding Pokemon. Now, this is going to list every Pokemon that exists. So I'm not particularly interested in all of them, obviously. So there's a couple ways we can limit this. If I know a Pokemon that I definitely want to include, for example, Dragonite, I know I want Dragonite, I can just type its name in and get it that way. Or if I want to look at like only dragon type Pokemon, because this is a dragon gym team, then I can search the dragon typing and it will show me all the Pokemon that have the dragon type, and I can do it that way as well. So let's just start with Dragonite. I have kind of an idea of this. I'm thinking I would love for him to have the multi-scale ability. Getting a hidden ability Dratini is going to be a nightmare, but I definitely want to. So that's what I want there. For its moves, I want weakness policy. This is actually an old Dragonite set that I used to run forever ago, and I'm I love this set. It's just a super fun set. So we're going to go, I think, Dragon Claw as a stab move, Earthquake, and then Extreme Speed for priority, and Dragon Dance. And then IVs, you can see it recommends an IV spread based on the moves that you select. And this is pretty close to what I want, except I want Jolly Nature instead of Adamant. But other than that, this is about right, and actually at like 4 in HP. So this is basically weakness policy Dragonite. It's a super fun set. It will catch it will catch teams by surprise, and it is sometimes capable of just wrecking entire teams by itself. Because what weakness policy does is if Dragonite gets hit with a super effective move, it basically boosts its attack and special attack by 2 stages. It's like getting a free Swords Dance if it's hit by a super effective move. And realistically, Dragonite is going to have a giant target on its back for Ice-type and Fairy-type moves. Odds are the way they're going to kill Dragonite is with a super effective move, or the way that they'll attempt to. Multi-scale will let it live almost any hit if it has full HP. So the idea is you put in Dragonite, you Dragon Dance when on the same turn that you get hit with something super effective. That gives you +3 attack boosts, and then you just wreck things with Extreme Speed, Earthquake, and Dragon Claw. That's basically the idea of this. So that's Dragonite. And our first pseudo-legendary for the team. I don't even need to look this guy up. This is a Dragonite set I used to run back in Gen 6 and had a lot of fun with. It's just a very fun set. So next, I know that I definitely want a Garchomp on the team as well. I don't know exactly what I want to run on this one, though. So let's look at his moves and kind of see what he has access to. We can also look at Garchomp here. Garchomp is a potential candidate for a Mega Evolution, but if we look at the 2 stats, this is the stat difference between the two over on Pokemon DB, and Mega Garchomp suffers from a very significant speed reduction. He goes from base 102 speed to base 92 speed. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but in the world of competitive Pokemon, that is a huge deal. Because there's a lot of Pokemon that have base 100 speed, this stat right here, and Garchomp outspeeds them. Mega Garchomp does not. And that is a huge deal. That going first is super important. Like, that's a huge advantage if you're the one that hits the other guy first on every turn. So Mega Garchomp, even though it has much bigger attack and other stuff, honestly, Mega Garchomp is not as good as regular Garchomp. Regular Garchomp is just better. Just pretty much strictly as a result of that speed. So we're probably going to run Garchomp and not make this our Mega. As for moves, we can look at the strategy decks over here on Smogon and get some ideas. We have offensive Stealth Rock. This is actually a pretty viable option. This isn't a Mega Evolution set. Jolly Nature has some of the things I need. Gives me Swords Dance, gives me Stealth Rock. And I don't really have a whole lot of other rock setters on the team that I'm kind of planning for. So this is probably going to be where we want to go. The other option is Tank, with a Rocky Helmet. And of course, you don't have to follow these sets necessarily. Like, I don't think this Weakness Policy Dragonite set is in the Smogon strategy decks anymore because it's pretty dated at this point. But if we're looking at, like, the Rocky Helmet Garchomp, then I need the Rough Skin ability, which is its hidden ability and is kind of a pain to get. On the Stealth Rock set, it's not nearly as big of a deal. So I think we're pretty much just going to run the Stealth Rock set here. So Stealth Rock set had Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Swords Dance. So we are going to go Earthquake as a stab move. I think I'm actually going to run Rock Slide over... Well, I really don't like either of these two moves. I hate moves that have decreased accuracy, but he doesn't really have a super accurate... You know what? I'm actually going to change this up a little bit. Rather than going Rock Slide, I think I'm actually going to give him Poison Jab for coverage against fairies. And then we'll give him Stealth Rock and Swords Dance. And then we'll give him... Yeah. Fast Physical Attacker. So Jolly, plus attack minus or plus speed minus special attack. Put pretty much all of our IVs into attack and speed. I think that's the way to go. I'm good with this. And then for an item, it has it running Rockium Z, but I just don't think that's really necessary here. I think we can probably run... We could run a couple things. I could run him as a Scarf set. Actually, not with Swords Dance, I couldn't. We could run him with Leftovers. We could run him with a Life Orb, potentially. There's some options here. But I think what we'll do is we'll come back to this item later. Because we're going to put some other things on the team in the meantime. Next guy is going to be Goodra. Another pseudo-legendary. Great base special defense. So we're going to run Assault Vest Goodra, which basically is holder special defense gets a 1.5 times bonus. That means instead of base 150 defense, as long as it's holding this item, it basically has 1.5 times that. So you're talking like 225 special defense, and it has great HP. So this dude is a beast. This guy is very bulky, which is great. And then I think, you know what, we'll put a little bit into speed, just because if I can outrun stuff, great, but I'm not expecting to be able to. So basically, we're just making him as bulky as possible. And then he already has a pretty solid attack stat. 110 special attack is nothing to sneeze at. So we'll give him Draco Meteor, which is a very powerful, hard-hitting, special dragon type move. So base 130 power and its stab. So very, very powerful there. I think we'll give Goodra Sludge Wave, because berries are a problem. I think we'll maybe go Ice Beam. And then maybe we'll go like Focus Blast. Focus Blast, or do we want to go Flamethrower? We could go Flamethrower, because the other thing too is we have this Sap Sipper ability. This basically means if it's hit with the grass type move, it takes no damage, and its attack goes up by one stage. The attack really doesn't matter, because I'm going to run him as a special attacker. But the idea is, yeah, you know what? I think we're going to go Flamethrower here, because the idea is he can come in and he can punish grass users. If there's a grass type move being used on maybe Garchomp, for example, or something like that, Goodra can come in and punish that. And I've got pretty decent coverage between Draco Meteor, Sludge Wave, Ice Beam, and Flamethrower. These hit just about everything for at least neutral effectiveness. So I'm not really too worried about that. So now we get into some of the guys that I'm a little bit more iffy on. And I think this is where we're going to look at Dragon as a type and just kind of see what we have to work with. I'm going to save our Mega for last. I think I want to run Salamence. Salamence is just really cool. You know what? Why don't we run Salamence and Hydreigon? Yeah, we'll run Salamence and Hydreigon. So that's actually 5 pseudo legendaries. This is going to be such a fun team. Oh, man. I think we'll make Salamence our choice scarf user. So he's going to be very, very quick. And we'll go... As far as moves go, we're not going to Mega Evolve him. We could make him a mixed attacker, but I think he's better as a physical attacker. I think we'll give him... Could give him Defog. That actually wouldn't be terrible. Let's see what we have to work with as far as attack type moves. So I think we'll go Outrage. We'll go... Do I have Flare Blitz? No. Outrage. We'll go Stone Edge because we don't have any other stone on the team, and that's kind of a big deal because it does hit ice super effectively. Maybe we go Crunch. And then we could... Honestly, we probably could run Defog on him. It's not ideal, especially with a Choice Scarf, but it might be needed depending on what hazards we're looking at. I think that's probably a good idea. And then we'll run him just the recommended set, plus speed, plus attack. With a Choice Scarf, he should outspeed just about anything. And he can hit pretty hard. So Outrage, Stone Edge, Crunch. These moves will deal a whole lot of damage to a whole lot of different types of Pokemon. Then we can look at Hydreigon. And Hydreigon is going to be a mixed attacker. So it's going to have a variety of different moves. I'll have some physical, some special. We're going to give it... I think we're going to give it Roost. We're going to give it U-Turn. We'll give it Draco Meteor because it's stab and hits real hard. And then maybe we'll go Flash Cannon. That could be good. Maybe we say no to Roost. I'm just kind of thinking. Yeah, I don't think I like Roost on this. I think U-Turn is good. So we'll put that here. So we've got right now Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon, U-Turn. What do I have as far as fire stuff goes? I've got Flamethrower. Got a couple of Earthquakes. What do we need the most as far as coverage goes? Could go Surf, potentially, just because water does hit a lot of things. Zen Headbutt could be an option as well. Or we could go Taunt. Taunt and U-Turn out? No. No. I want a pretty offensive set here. I think I can always, you know what? I can always change it later. Let's just go ahead. Right now we have 2 special moves, 1 physical move. We're going to give him another physical move. I think we'll just give him maybe like Superpower, just because it hits real hard. And we're going to run him Naive Nature. We'll go plus attack. You know what? Actually, we'll do it this way. We'll go plus speed, plus special attack, and the last remaining 4 into physical attack. So this is how we'll run him. He'll be a mixed attacker, primarily between Draco Meteor and Flash Cannon, primarily going to be a special attacker. But then I think as far as an item, we'll give him a Life Orb. So he can take advantage of all that, all those nice mixed stats, which means Garchomp, I was considering putting a Life Orb on him. But I think instead we'll maybe just give him like leftovers. That might be okay. And if we're gonna give him leftovers, or maybe we give him just a berry. That wouldn't necessarily be horrible either. There's a few different options. For now, I'm just gonna leave it as leftovers, but we might change that later. And then for our Mega, I think what I want is Mega Charizard X. because Charizard, he's a dragon, but he's not technically a dragon unless you turn him into a Mega Dragon. Then he's totally a dragon again. So we're gonna do Mega Charizard X, I think. As far as moves, we don't want acrobatics because he's got to be holding the Charizardite. But we only want to go physical moves because his ability Tough Claws, contact moves have their power multiplied by 1.3. So first move, Flare Blitz, stab, contact move, hits like a truck, will wipe out many things. Very, very, very powerful move. I don't think we need more Earthquake. We've got plenty of Earthquake on the team already. Because Garchomp's running it, Dragonite is running it. Like, we don't need a third Earthquake. I think we will go Thunder Punch. We can go looking for another good contact move. Crunch, perhaps? That would make contact. Or we could give him Power Up Punch and Roost. I kind of like that. Then he's got some staying power as well because he can Roost to heal up. I think I like that. That's a fun set. And then we'll give him Jolly, boost the speed as much as possible. See, he's one of those base 100 speeds I was talking about. Boost his attack power, turn him into just a very powerful attacker. And I think that's our team. Like, that's a lot of stuff that goes into it. You know, a lot of it you can be checking here. Some of it you can be checking here. But between Pokemon Showdown, Smogon, Pokemon DB, and Google, you can get pretty much all the information you need to build a team. And then a lot of it is just thinking about how it synergizes together and all that other kind of stuff, as well as play testing. Just practicing with it, seeing what it's good against, seeing what it's bad against. Obviously, this is a monotype team, so it's not really going to be great for the ladder on Showdown. But either way, I know this is something a little bit different, and I don't plan to do this again, but I thought it would be nice to kind of break up the cycle of just doing nothing but breeding for episode after episode and do something a bit different. So without further ado, let's get back on the server. All right, guys, we are back on the server. I hope you enjoyed that. I know it's a little out of the ordinary, but I don't know. I had fun with it, and I hope you enjoyed the little, doing something a little bit different, looking at the team building and some of the resources and things for it. One thing I do want to show you, I hatched this guy, Xurkitree. He's an electric ultra beast. I hatched this guy from a Ditto egg earlier today. Thought that was pretty cool. I don't think his stats are great. Yeah, he's got perfect IV and defense, and that's about it. Everything else is pretty bad. But, I mean, beast boost and all sorts of things. He's only level 1, but, yeah, pretty cool. It seems like the Ultra Beasts are really, really big. Like, look at the size of this dude. I think he is larger than normal. Yeah, no, he's ordinary? Holy cow. Imagine how big this dude would be if he was like an enormous. That would be nuts. Anyway, guys, unfortunately, I am a little bit out of time for this episode. Building that team together took a little longer than I thought it was going to. But if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.